All right, let's talk about something that is at the absolute heart of any serious cybersecurity investigation, your audit logs. We spend so much time thinking about firewalls and antivirus, right? But what happens after a breach? The answer, the real nitty-gritty story of what went down, well, it lives or dies with the quality of your logs. So yeah, let's get into it. I mean, this quote really hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Look, we have to just accept that attacks are going to happen. It's a fact of life. The real failure isn't that you got hit. The real failure is being left completely in the dark afterwards, with absolutely no way to trace the attacker's footsteps. And that right there is the difference between a manageable event and a complete catastrophe. So where does that trail go cold? Well, it vanishes the second your logging practices are, well, weak. So many organizations are flying blind, operating with these massive blind spots that make a real, proper forensic investigation totally impossible. So let's break down exactly how this happens.
Okay, these right here, these are the broken links in your evidence chain, and trust me, they are so common. First up, critical actions just aren't being logged. That's literally like having a security camera that's conveniently off right when the person with the master key walks in. Then you've got inconsistent formats. One system is spitting out JSON, another is using syslog. Trying to piece that together is a total nightmare. And storing logs locally, oh man, you're basically just letting the intruder delete the security footage on their way out. Then there's time drift. If your servers are off by even a few seconds, forget it. Your timeline of events is completely shot. And of course, the classic fox guarding the henhouse problem, letting admins alter their own tracks. And finally, keeping logs for 30 days? The evidence is gone long before you even realize you've been breached.
And this is the result. This is what it all leads to. It's not just about finding the bad guy, It's about proof. Without a reliable timeline, how are you going to prove to regulators, to your customers, to your own board that you've actually contained the breach? The simple answer is you can't. You're just stuck in this limbo of uncertainty, which is a horrible place to be, both for your security posture and from a legal standpoint. Okay, but it doesn't have to be this way. Let's flip the script now. Enough with the problems, let's talk about the solution. Because there is a gold standard for this stuff, a way to turn your logs from a messy liability into your single most powerful forensic asset. It's all about building that solid foundation. So this checklist, think of it as your roadmap to getting forensically ready. Step 1 is simple. Define and log your events. You have to explicitly decide what's important. Things like admin logins, firewall changes, you name it, those have to be logged. No excuses. Step 2. Centralize and protect them. Get those logs into a central, secure system, a SIEM or something similar, and make them immutable, tamper-proof. Step 3 is huge, secure admin actions. You've got to log what your admins are doing and protect those logs separately. I mean, they hold the keys to the kingdom, right? Then, step 4 is all about retention. You need to keep logs long enough to meet compliance, sure, but more importantly, long enough to outlast those stealthy attackers who might hang around for months. Next, you have to restrict and audit access to the logs themselves. Who's looking at this evidence? That access needs to be logged too. And finally, step 6, alert on failures. If your logging system suddenly goes quiet, that's one of the biggest red flags you could ever hope to get. Okay, theory is great, but let's make this really practical. The best way to figure out where you actually stand is to start asking some tough questions. So let's walk through a few critical ones that you should be taking back to your team, like today. First question, and it's a big one. It's all about finding your blind spots. What critical actions are you not logging right now? Think about it. Config changes, data access, admin logins. What's falling through the cracks? Because if you don't even know what you're missing, there's no way you can start to fix it. All right, next up, how far back can you actually go? If an incident happened 6 months ago, could you reconstruct the full timeline? Seriously, is your answer a few weeks, a few months, or a year? Remember, some of these advanced threats can hide for ages. If your logs only go back 30 days, you've basically only got the last chapter of the book, and you have no idea how the story even started. Now for the big integrity check. Can your administrators alter or delete their own logs? The answer to this has to be a hard, unequivocal no. If the people being watched can erase the tape, the whole system is worthless. It just completely loses all credibility. And here's a crucial one to think about. A classic attacker move is to cut the power to the security cameras before they break in, right? So if your logging was just disabled right now, would anyone even notice? Would an alarm go off? You need an alert not just for when bad things happen, but for when your ability to see them suddenly disappears. Because ultimately, it all boils down to this one simple fact. If you can't trust your logs, you can't trust your conclusions. It's that simple. If the foundation is shaky, the whole house is just going to fall down. Trust is everything here. So, let's wrap this all up with one last, really powerful idea. Something that separates just okay security from truly great security.
And this really says it all, doesn't it? Good security detects an attack. It raises an alarm, tells you something is wrong. But great security proves what happened. It gives you the indisputable evidence of exactly what happened, who did it, when, and how. It's the difference between knowing your house was broken into and having a crystal clear, high-definition video of the entire thing from start to finish.
So here's the bottom line. Don't just aim to detect the next attack. Aim higher. Aim to be in a position where you can prove, without a shadow of a doubt, exactly what went down. That is the real measure of forensic readiness. So the question you got to take back to your team is simple. Are we just detecting things, or are we actually ready to prove them?